Welcome back to Teenage Nightmares, the place that drags you deeper into the world of the unknown. In tonight's eerie story, we will hear from Tommy as he shares a horrifying camping experience. So sit back, get cozy, and enjoy another nightmare. Alone in Portlock. Hello, my name is Tommy, and this happened in 1985 during a solo camping trip in Alaska. I had taken a small boat out to the abandoned town of Portlock, down in Port Chatham Bay. It felt like a good idea at the time, as I'd been going through a lot and needed some space to clear my head. Being from Alaska, I wasn't too worried about being out there. Plus, I knew the area was practically a ghost town, so I figured I'd have the place to myself. Once I arrived, I hiked just a little ways into the woods. I didn't want to go too far, as something about the silence was already getting to me. I found a flat spot and set up camp. After my tent was set up, I decided to build a small fire and make a simple lunch. The first few hours were actually nice and peaceful. I sat in my tent with a mystery novel, half lost in the story, half listening to the wind in the trees. But when the sun started to go down, that's when things changed. Suddenly, I felt watched. And this wasn't just a feeling of uneasiness. I felt terrified, as if something unworldly was watching me. And I do not scare easily, but something in those woods put the fear of God in me. I tried my best to ignore the fear, but as the night went on, things got worse. I was eating dinner in my tent when I heard what sounded like footsteps approaching. I slowly unzipped my tent as quietly as possible to try and get a glimpse of what was out there. But there wasn't a soul out there. I tried to convince myself that I was just hearing things. Eventually, I forced myself to sleep. But around 2 a.m., I was jolted awake by a sound just outside my tent. It was impossible to explain. Something between a laugh and a growl. That's when I felt real terror. Not just nerves. Not paranoia, but pure fear. Every part of me wanted to run, but something in me said, "Don't leave the tent." And thank God I didn't. About 20 minutes later, something started scratching at the fabric, trying to get inside. For a second, I thought it might just be an animal, maybe a bear or a wolf. So I screamed, loud as I could, hoping to scare it off. And it worked. I heard it run off through the trees. For a moment, I felt stupid. Really? All that panic over some animal? But when the sun finally came up, my fear was at an all-time high, because right outside my tent were footprints. Not animal prints. Human-shaped footprints. But the size of my arm. I didn't even pack up. I just ran, leaving everything behind, and hopped on my boat. I wasn't going to wait around for whatever made those tracks to come back. To this day, I don't know what was lurking in those woods, but I'm glad I never found out. So, to whatever's still out there, hiding in the woods of Portlock, I hope you stay there.